Okay, so sorry about that. Last off, we talked about the concurrency of being at a centroid. Sorry, right? Of medians, what we're looking at, and there's a special property that kind of comes into play when we talk about this, but we'll get there. Just know that a median, right, just kind of splits this apart. All right, altitude. All right, what this looks like. So an altitude is basically how high a triangle can be, and it's always creating a right angle whenever it meets. It doesn't necessarily have to start at each point, and you'll kind of see what we're looking at. You'll see that's not every vertex. It's really just looking for that perpendicular is what we're looking for, not even a bisector. So the way this works, and also you can see it in orthocenter, but what it is, a segment whose endpoint is a sine angle, and the segment is also perpendicular to that opposite side. All right, to the opposite side. So the way it kind of works out, right? What we're looking for. Dang it. Wait. Oh, not a side. It is actually. This is gonna look weird. A vertex. Um, endpoint is at a vertex, and then it's perpendicular to the opposite side. So really, right, it kind of looks like that. What we're looking for. Three altitudes as well. My fault. Anyway, so it works, right? The way it kind of looks, what it is. So if you start at the vertex, right, any vertex, all you have to do is just drop it straight down. We're not looking to see if it goes anywhere else. We're not looking for the middle, and drop it straight down. Take it from here and go straight down, right? There's no other markings we have to do. Really, it just creates this right angle we're looking at. Okay. Yeah, and kind of continuing on. Same thing if we start here. And again, just drop it technically straight down, but really we're just creating a perpendicular from this vertex. So they look a little bit off, they look a little bit different, they look a little bit weird. But this is what the orthocenter is. I mean, this is what an altitude is. Okay. And like I said, the concurrency is at concurrency at what we call the orthocenter. Okay. Technically, this is the height of a triangle. So it's a small little thing to kind of note. It's kind of, but again, notice the difference between all these different things we've kind of looked at and what we're doing. Okay, and the last one is an angle bisector. This one doesn't have to do with the sides, but it has to do with the angles themselves, right? Because an angle bisector really is it splits the angle, and they all meet at the incenter, which is this point right there in the middle. So kind of look, remember at, it's kind of confusing, but we'll get there. Um, a segment that bisects an angle of a triangle, and the endpoint at the vertex. Okay. Anywhere else it doesn't really matter. It works though. Any point on the bisector of an angle is equidistant from the sides of the angle, and just like before, every triangle has three of these. Alright, so this is a special property, right? The fact that they're all equidistant from each other once you get to the incenter, but we'll talk about that specifically later. Right now, we just need to recognize them and see what we're looking at. So, if we have a vertex, and again, all it's trying to do is split the actual angle itself. Oh, we can't even see that. If you have a vertex, and you're trying to split the actual angle itself, it doesn't really matter as long as, again, these two are congruent is what we're looking for, right? And kind of same thing with the rest of these. So again, we have this vertex, and we're splitting the angle. Oh, I messed up the color. Oh, that's fine. We have a vertex, and split the angle right down the middle. All right, because what we're looking for to see if the angle split. Notice how there's not really a point that I mark on the line because that's not what we're looking for, right? We're looking at the angle. And the concurrency here, again, is at the end center. Is what we call that. Okay. And there you go. Those are all the different points of concurrency, all the different types of special segments and lines within a triangle. So this is like a big one, right? So for your assignment, it'll be pretty all right. Really, it's just kind of noticing all this stuff, right? Being able to figure it out.